The line's open world, open mind, and you're claiming to do something different in the game prototype. How are you approaching that, Tim?
Well, there's a lot of things we're doing differently. The first thing is our game is structured differently than many other open world games. It's a thriller, it's a conspiracy. So you start the game with the player character and you don't even know your own name. You're basically reconstructing your past. And we've seen lots of other amnesiacs in stories before, in movies and games, but our guy's different because when he consumes somebody, and he can consume anybody in New York City, he gets not only their physical form, so he can adopt the perfect disguise, but he gets their memories. And some people in the game, and there's hundreds of them, we call them targets, they have some information about Alex Mercer's past. That's the name of our main character. And the player literally pieces this together through the story of the game and uncovers the mystery, basically, peels back the layers. Being an open world game, we're totally designing the missions so that you get objectives, and we give you the tools, and we say go. And you figure out how to do it. Of course, there's a million ways to solve any problem we throw at you if we give you that kind of situation.
Exactly what do you mean when you say open world?
A linear game, really, you're doing one thing. You walk down a corridor and some monster comes at you and you're killing that monster or you're not advancing through the game. And that's what the game's telling you to do. And there's no other option. An open world game, you can do whatever you want to approach the problem. First of all, you have a player character that can do a lot of things, drive, shoot. You also have a world that has no boundaries, right? You can go anywhere you want. Since the character can climb any building, it's like a huge volume. And then the other thing is basically that you have this concept of free roaming, where the player decides when to trigger a mission that pulls the story forward.
Tell me a little bit more about the story behind Alex Mercer. Why should I care about him?
Well, Alex Mercer is actually an anti-hero. I mean, it was interesting. USA Today yesterday, they had a cover story about all the Oscar nominees for Best Actor are all anti-heroes. And they defined it the way I like to define it, which is, a villain, but a three-dimensional villain who's so good at what he does that you actually cheer for him. And he might have some redeeming moral code. He might have some redemptive qualities. That describes Alex Mercer to a T. He is a guy who has been wronged. He's on a revenge quest, and he'll stop at nothing to reconstruct his identity through doing some pretty horrible things. But he also has allies in the game and some people he cares about. And there's even more evil things going on in this game world than the character himself.
Tell me a little bit more about your multiplayer campaign.
Well, the multiplayer is centered around co-op, two-player online co-op. What we found when we were starting out, the #1 most requested feature for online was, I want to play this game with my buddy, and I want to be able to drop in, drop out anytime. So that's what we're delivering. You can join another player's game in any mission and play it with them and experience it differently. And also, special co-op achievements and things like that. So it will be worthwhile, even if you played the game single player, to play it again with a buddy, because you will get a different experience. And there's no tethering. It's like go anywhere, both of you guys in the entire city.